Sir from 17 once again. This is my Metal Gear Rising Revengeance Difficulty video walkthrough. This is File 3, Mile High Part 2. So we've just dropped down the elevator shaft and we're moving into the tunnel, and in here is a bunch of enemies, and there's an achievement for going through this entire tunnel without activating the crazy vision mode, and I would recommend doing that on an easier difficulty than this one, or these mastiffs are just going to tear your asshole a nice new ample section. But that right there is a parry on the two-handed fist attack. If you fuck that up, you will get one-shotted. It's happened to me plenty of times. He's doing it again, but perfect parry. I need to learn that timing. I need to full-on get my body conditioned to doing that, because it makes them so easy. The only problem is they have a lot of attacks, so they don't necessarily always do the slam, and that's one of the things that makes these games, you know, so playable and so rewarding, because they're different every time you play. You know, an enemy that you've beat up for hours can suddenly start kicking your ass because it's just doing something different, and that is why a lot of people like these games. And there's a ton of potential with this. I mean, there's even a thing at the end of the game which is, you know, on about a sequel. And I hope if it does get a sequel, which it deserves, they'll give us a full game, because it feels like an appetizer for what could be. It's so short, guys, it really is. My clear time on this difficulty was 5 hours. And 5 hours sounds like a decent length, you know, for some campaigns, but when you look at the sum of the parts of this, it's so short. Anybody see where he went? I didn't. Shit my pants then. Thought he was going to see me, but luckily enough he's blind. He's too busy trying to parkour to do anything, so I get the stealth kill on him. Something I've not mentioned too, a lot of the areas of this game you can stealth past. You do not have to kill things in a lot of them. The problem is, if you get spotted, it puts barricades up which forces you to fight or to lose the alarm. But if you're good enough and you want to do it, you can stealth, and a couple of areas later on where I literally don't want to fight, I stealth my way through, and it's more than possible. This is me trying to exploit splash damage to get rid of the stupid things on the roof. Didn't work. Lesson learned. There is the alarm. Thing with these, when they're on the roof, when they drop down, they almost every single time will land on you. It's bullshit. And when they land on you, they do the stupid cuddle, Care Bear hug, and next thing you know, one of them's clubbing you. It's a baby seal's nightmare. But I've got to the point where I just want to get out of this area because I hate those stupid handy wankers. There's a couple of mastiffs knocking around, and I'm going to try, if I can, to get the execution on them. But it's going to get a little tough when these things are following me. And he spotted me then. He did his little... Oh goodness me, do you see that? No idea how I survived that kick just then. That right there was me recovering and getting directly into the parry. I have no idea what's happening here, thank you camera. Like I say, the camera on this game is like the camera on most action games that are this fast. At times it's perfect, other times you want to stab it in the eye. But this is just a little bit of heavy X action there just to get rid of everything around me. I love the system of being able to get your life back though if you play it right. I think it's such a rewarding and interesting take on the genre. But just got through the underground there. Wasn't too bad. It can be rough though, those mastiffs. It doesn't take a group of them to kill you, it takes one. One of them and you to get unlucky, it really does. This is a grad on the bridge and a bunch of standard soldiers with one of the armoured soldiers. So right there, get super lucky. You notice what I did? Got the parry on the standard guy and the armoured guy ran into it. That is the best way to deal with those armoured fellas. The only problem is lining it up is sometimes more luck than skill, and if you're new to the channel, I'm not the biggest fan of luck-based anything. I'm not a card player. You know, I don't like rolling dices. I don't mind it in RPGs because RPGs are all about stats, and you can generally prepare before you go into the fight and pretty much guarantee your outcome. Should have perfect parried that. But in the heat of battle, when you know that it can potentially one-shot you, it can be difficult to land those clutch parries. This is pretty rare too, me jumping up to do that to him. As well, because the thing with it, when you enter blade time, it obviously fills down the bar, and when you come out of it, if you do have the opportunity to do the counter, it won't work because you don't have the full bar, so it's another reason to stay out of it and just continue to mash him. Hang on a second. That worked anyway. Ah, it must be the first bar full, not the entire bar. I'm not too sure. Maybe it's just the first full bar. Like I say, guys, a lot of the science, a lot of the maths behind this game, I don't know yet because I've not had enough time with it. But I will learn it, and when I do, hopefully the S rank run I've got in mind, which could take forever, I'm hopefully going to be coming back with a wealth of knowledge that I don't have right now, because this game for me is essentially 24 hours old at this point. Oh, this is interesting too. This is quite a big fight, but you don't have to do it. There's your checkpoint, completely skipped it. This bit, Jesus Christ. This is one of the cheapest checkpoints in the game. This is good though, you can chop him up through the thing. There you go, dickhead. That's what you get, son. So what happens here is, if you can't tell, there's 3 mastiffs, and when you kill 2 of them, it automatically spawns 2 of the Fenriers, which is the wolf that you fought on the first mission. 2 at the same time, with a big ape that can one-shot you. And there's no checkpoint. You've got to kill all the enemies before the checkpoint. And the Fenriers aren't that bad on their own, but when they're together, all rules go out of the window because they're flying at you from every direction. They can one-shot you. It's just bad news. So I've decided to really embrace the Metal Gear Solid and mess around with the box, because the box is really good. It's super useful for stealthing through areas. So, do you see how it's talking about the LQ-84s? That means that they're coming. So I immediately enter Blade mode, because this is the part where I throw all skill to the wall and just start smashing, and hopefully things die. Luckily enough, I kill both the Mastiff and the first Fenrir, and I see the other one over here. And that looks there, easy, looks simple. What was that, 30 seconds, 40 seconds? Piece of piss. That took me about an hour, because I was trying to do it without Blade mode, without Ripper mode, sorry, and they were just kicking my ass. I can't even tell you how much. Even getting to the Fenriers was difficult, because if you pissed off all the Mastiffs, fighting 3 Mastiffs at the same time, where one mistake off of a possible 3 opportunities every other second, God, it's not easy. And the worst part about these videos is they make it look easy. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to get frustrated by that. When you're watching a video of somebody like, oh, it looks simple, he just did this, he just did that, and when you play, it's different. But this sequence here is, Sam's going to be talking to you on the billboards. I've trimmed it out because, you know, this is not about story, guys. This is me walking you through the game and helping you if you're struggling. This is not me telling you how to enjoy a narrative. But what's going to happen is you're going to fight a bunch of standard soldiers, and they're all going to be, it's almost like you're listening to their internal monologue. And it's playing on this whole who kills the killer aspect of, is Raiden really doing good when he's killing all these people that have families? Because, you know, everyone who dies has somebody who's going to be upset about it. It's the whole Taken 2 premise, only this is good. And it's an interesting ploy. It adds a whole bunch of depth to Sam. It kind of makes him a little bit more twisted than I think he actually is. And I personally think this is all a ploy. It's a ploy to make Raiden accept who he is. It's a ploy to unlock Jack the Ripper, essentially, which is Raiden's more merciless form. And I think the only reason Sam's doing it is the same reason Cell provokes Gohan in Dragon Ball Z. He wants to fight the ultimate form of his opponent to test his skills, and that's the exact same thing Sam does. And unfortunately, you know, he gets exactly what he wished for. But this is weird, this. Why Raiden can't stealth kill these idiots from behind, even though he's got a bit of a limp on, is just beyond me. This is the most powerful sword in the game, it's fully upgraded, and these guys take 4 hits from it. You can't even use your box. It'd be great if we could be a limping box. That should be DLC on its own. But all you need to do here is, there is a path through this like rail yard or whatever the hell this place is. I'm not entirely sure what a lot of these environments are. They're all, you know, future wartown metropolises. They're all corporate machines, war economy, blah blah. There's a checkpoint just in case you die. And I'm not entirely sure how death works on this sequence because I've never died. But on the sequence coming up, You get beat up until you're 0.1%, and then Sam comes out and everything's magic again. It's, you know, it's it's kind of weird. And for a game that doesn't have a lot of gameplay, you spend a lot of time walking like this. Really strange. It feels like there's been 2 levels cut. It really does. It feels 3 levels, in fact. Because this level you're watching now, this is the longest level on the game, I think. No, actually, sorry, the one after this. Corporate Takeover, or whatever it's called. That is the longest level on the game. And you could fit the last 3 chapters in that one level. It's that long. And it gives it this really disjointed feeling, which you don't notice when you're first playing through, because you're watching all the cutscenes, you're listening to all the codecs, but like, I didn't expect to fight Sam where you fight him. I expected him to be at the end of a hard-fought level. I didn't expect it to just be, oh, let's pull over on the road and fight to the death. I didn't expect that at all. And it's a cool fight, don't get me wrong, it's one of the best fights on the game, but an entire chapter dedicated to it? I don't get that. You could have put Raiden anywhere. You could have put him in Disneyland, and it would have been fun chopping stuff up. It's a game, and it's a mechanic that's screaming for more. And a lot of the reviews say that the length is fine because it's gimmicky. They think that the blade mode and, you know, the game doesn't have all that many things going for it, so the length of the game is actually a benefit, so that you don't realise that what you're doing is essentially quite tedious and repetitive. But when it feels this good, I don't feel repetition or boredom, because it's just, oh, it tickles all the good bits on me. But thanks for watching anyhow, I hope it's helping, and you take care.